I'm Heather at Umi Nami Farm, where we grow organic Japanese vegetables year-round. It is September 5th, 2005, and we are just only 2 weeks from the fall equinox. So we have just wrapped up planting, not all, but almost all of our outdoor winter crops. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have more to say about that in the future, but today I wanted to talk about 3 things. One was gobo, one was water challenges, and one was tree fruit. So, starting with gobo. One question that we've gotten more than once is actually, I guess, 2 questions. What's that brown root in the vegetable box, and how do you eat it? So, you might have seen this if you're in the box program, if you go to Fujiya. We've also had these available on South Island Farm Hub. And this is gobo. It's a cultivated form of burdock root. There are wild forms that you can find growing in some West Coast forests. Anyways, this is a cultivated form. It is actually this beautiful plant right here with these huge leaves. They're kind of fuzzy gray on one side, sort of a deal. It's actually in the sunflower family. And it is understood to have a wide variety of health benefits. It's actually widely used in various forms of herbal medicine as well. And you can eat it almost any way conceivable. The only thing we don't do is we don't eat it raw, because some of the starches in the root are hard to digest unless they're cooked. But beyond that, you can stir fry it, you can make it as a stew, it can be, you can bake with it. You actually can cut it raw and put it in apple cider vinegar to make a herbal tonic where you then drink the vinegar. But a wide variety of ways. We're hoping to try to make a recipe video sometime. We'll see how that goes, if we get to it or not. But yeah, if you look for recipes online under burdock root or gobo, G-O-B-O kind of a thing, really, really lovely vegetable. So when I was thinking about what to do for this video, I was kind of thinking on like a rosebud thorn model, where the rose is, you know, like what's really beautiful right now. And so the gobo is really beautiful right now. So I talked about that. The thorn, the bud rather, is what's exciting and upcoming. I'll get to that later. But the thorn, the challenge, I would say that one of the thorns right now is that we are in a very dry time of year, and so managing moisture can be really difficult. When I say right now, I mean at the moment, being, you know, early September, it is getting easier as the days get shorter and cooler and this kind of a thing. But we're really seeing the challenges of late summer moisture management. The moisture that we had in the soil in the spring is largely gone by sometime in July, and so when we're planting crops in, say, like early August outdoors, the soil is bone dry, and keeping enough moisture in the soil, keeping enough moisture around the leaves of the plants is really challenging. And that can have some specific difficulties. Let's go, for example, here is a row of our Asian greens mix, which we plant every week. There's komatsuna, various kinds of mizuna, various mustard greens, bok choy or chinggensai. And I just want to zero in on the mizuna here. Mizuna, if you look at the Chinese characters, literally reads as water greens. And I'm questioning whether these guys got enough water, because what we're actually seeing here is that the tips of a lot of the leaves are getting what they call tip burn. They're dying back and turning brown. And that's a real challenge, because that dead brown tip, besides not looking very nice, and besides not being very nice to eat, also rots more quickly than the rest of the plant. And so if we put that in somebody's vegetable box, if we put that in your vegetable box, or if we put that in your vegetables that are going to Fujiya, for example, we don't want you to have little bits of rotten stuff in your vegetables that you're getting from us. So what that means is we have to do one of 2 things. Either we have to take a lot of time, leaf by leaf, picking out the parts that have tip burn, or we have to just scrap the crop and not use it, kind of a thing. So what that means is that in the coming weeks, I won't say there's going to be no mizuna. We probably will pick through this and do our best to get something here, but there won't be as much mizuna as we would hope, and that will show up in what you see in your box. That will show up in how much we're able to send to Fujiya. That will show up in what we're able to send to South Island Farm Hub. But we're hoping for better things. The season is gradually changing, so we'll see what happens. But let's get to that rosebud. The next thing we're going to talk about is tree fruit. So one marker of the season that's really beautiful right now is tree fruit. We have just finished harvesting our Gravenstein apples. There weren't a lot, but there were some. We're currently harvesting Italian prune plums, which I'll say more about in a minute. One of the next fruit varieties to come up is our Spartan apples, and the reason I'm holding a knife will become clear in a sec. I know these might look like they're ready right now with this beautiful color. We're actually not harvesting them yet for a couple of reasons. One is that like when you smell it, like there's no apple fragrance yet, and we really like to wait until there's more of a sense of the fragrance in the fruit before we pick them. Looking on the ground, I do see a few fallen apples, but like, you know, when they're ripe, they tend to come off easily kind of a thing, and I don't see that many fallen apples yet. Now, depending on the variety, there is one other thing we can do to check for optimal ripeness, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Because Spartan, to get technical for a second, Gravenstein, which I don't have an example to show you right now, they're all finished being harvested, is a triploid variety. It has 3 copies of all its chromosomes, which means it's actually not able to produce viable seeds. And so that means that you can't look at the seeds to know whether or not it's ready. However, Spartan is a diploid variety. It's only got 2 copies of each chromosome, so it does produce viable seeds. That means we can check the seeds to see if the seeds are ready or not to tell if the fruit is ripe. So I've just picked this one. Looks pretty good all overall. Now let's slice it open. Yeah, and so you can see inside the apple, the seeds haven't turned brown yet. They're still kind of like this whitey, beigey kind of color, and you're starting to see a little bit of brown color forming. So I mean, true to my expectation based on the outside, they are on their way. They're just not ready yet. And like if I were to taste this right now, I can eat it. Like it's not bad, it's just not great kind of a thing. Like it's still got a little bit, it's still a little bit astringent kind of a thing. And so we're waiting until that point where those various signs of ripeness are all coming together to tell us that the fruit is really ready to go. So it's not ready yet, but it's on the horizon as something we look forward to sharing with you. We don't typically put fruit in the box program or send to Fujiya or anything like this. However, if you come to the farm during our box program pickup days, that's Wednesday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 till noon, we do have fruit that includes apples, plums, melons, along with some other vegetables and whatnot, out available for sale on a table there. So if you were to come in on one of those 2 days, Wednesday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to noon, you can, even if you're not part of the box program, you can still come and take a look at what we've got and see what you'd like to buy. Just one tip, if you do come, the gate will probably be closed to keep out the deer. You're welcome to let yourself in and just close the gate again after you. As for our South Island Farm Hub, we might be able to send some apples at some point. Kind of TBD. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, if you'd like to try some, coming on box program pickup day is the best thing to do. So that was our rose, our bud, our thorn, not in that order, but thank you for joining us. It's really lovely to have these times to share a little bit of the farm with you, and I look forward to doing it next time. Bye for now.